Welcome to Point Row Group's Ask the Expert series, where we talk to experts about topics relating to personal and corporate branding. Today we're speaking with Robert Weiss and talking about video content strategy. Robert is an expert in all aspects of video strategy, production, and distribution, and is the president of MultiVision Digital, a corporate video production and marketing firm. Great to have you with us today, Robert.
Thank you for having me, and glad to be talking to your community about video and video strategy.
So let's just jump right in.
Go for it.
So today, more and more companies are doing video, more and more people are doing video, given our current situation, but also because they see the value in it. So if you could talk to us a little bit about myths relating to video, because there's a lot of them out there.
There's a lot of myths out there, and depending on where people are at in their adoption curve. The first one, of course, is that it costs too much. And yes, it can cost a lot, but it doesn't necessarily have to. It all depends on the type of video that you want to do. The second is that they need a script. You don't need a script for every single video, especially if it's a business communication. And the last is that I think people feel that they need to be a 100% expert the first time they do video, is that they need to get it 100% right. And the myth or the reality is that you're not going to. Video is something that it's different. It's not necessarily complicated, but it's different from other forms of content that they've done in the past. So it takes a little while to learn how to go through the whole cycle of creating a message, planning the production, editing the video, and then marketing that video. So once you go through that once, you're going to be better for the next time that you do it.
That's so true. And I can speak from experience. That is absolutely true, that you need to get at least a couple under your belt. So if someone decides they're ready to go with creating video content for the first time, what are some top tips that you have for them?
The first thing is, as I alluded to earlier about the myths, about the script, like you don't need a script. Some videos you do, animated explainer videos, yes, you do. But for the most part, you need to be real. You need to be natural. So come up with talking points. We like to say 3 bullet points per video. Typically, business professionals talk about these things every single day in front of prospects, in front of clients, at trade shows, on the phone, without a script. So imagine the camera is a prospect or a client or somebody you're just having a conversation with. So those 3 bullet points allow somebody to be very focused on camera for that one specific video. And then the last is when you're in post-production, when you're in editing, don't necessarily think about the visuals first. When we send a preview out to clients, we ask them not to watch it. And we say, yeah, it's video, but listen to it. If what you hear sounds good, we can fix any of the visuals. We can add B-roll. We can edit accordingly because we have cameras. But if the message is not on point, then the video is not on point.
Those are some fantastic points. I love the idea of thinking about looking when you're doing the video, is thinking about it as a client or potential client, because then you could just have the conversation and then you feel more comfortable. And I really love the idea, I've never heard before, about listening to the video first, because it's really true. If it doesn't sound good, and if your message isn't coming across. So those are really, really great points. That's great. So you're working with clients all the time on video, and you work with people across the spectrum of experience and comfort with video content. So what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see over and over and over again?
Going back to what we just talked about, I think thinking about the visuals first is a mistake. All right. I get a lot of people first time, they tell me what they want to see in the video, but then I ask them what the messaging is, and they're like, just crickets. And they don't think that they already have a lot of the talking points down in a brochure. If it's a sales video for like a product, they have a product brochure. If it's a service, they have a web page. Maybe the first 3 or 4 slides of a PowerPoint. They have this content. So it's a matter of just making sure that the video aligns from a messaging perspective with the other types of marketing and communication. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I see is the starting with the messaging. And that's independent if you're a solo entrepreneur, a small business, or a large business. You need to start with the messaging first, like things that you do every single day of the week. The next thing is thinking that you need a corporate overview video or like an about us video first. And my personal opinion is that comes second or even third to some of the FAQs that you might have. When people go to Google or they come to your website, or even if they get a referral to you or your company, they want information. They don't necessarily care about you, they care about them. So starting with video content that is more educational related, thought leadership, FAQ driven, versus, hey, look, this is how great we are as a company, right? That I think is a mistake because the way you can plan video, the FAQ videos and the thought leadership videos don't necessarily have to be really, really high production value. So you can take a budget and you can make many videos with a budget versus a corporate overview video, which probably you want to invest in that video. Another one to talk about is not thinking after the fact with video, right? How are you going to utilize this video? And that's something that should be started in the very beginning. So when we have conversations with people, we ask them about their business objective, which is the strategy. Is it SEO or conversion or social media awareness, for example, from a strategic standpoint? And then we ask them what the distribution channel is. And then we talk about the content. So again, most people want to talk about the content first, but the strategy and the distribution are really important because the distribution is going to say what you do with the video afterwards. And if you don't have a plan for that, I don't care what the investment level is with video, you're not going to have an ROI on that video.
I think that makes a lot of sense because a lot of people think right now, I got to do video. I got to do video. You know, we just have to have something up and out there and not really think about it strategically. And especially when it comes to anything marketing related, whether it's about your company or yourself, you have to be thinking about what's the goal and what's your strategy to get there. So excellent point. I know you're a big proponent of having a video first content strategy. So could you share with us a little bit about what that is and why it's preferable? And then maybe if there are instances when it's not.
Yeah, so a video first content marketing strategy is just that, starting with video. The premise is that all marketers, all business people, all entrepreneurs, we need a lot of content to get out there, to do the different activities, to drive the different leads that we all have. So a video first content marketing strategy starts with the video first. Under the premise is it's a lot easier for people to talk about something they know than to sit down and write a blog. So after you come up with that one video that has those 3 bullet points on a specific topic, you can now take that video and transcribe it into a contextual blog post. Then you can take the images of that video and screen capture them to create 5 or 6 social media posts off of that video, all driving traffic back to that video or the blog post or your website, what have you.
Well, Robert, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us for Point Road Group's Ask the Expert series. I think the information that you've shared is so helpful to so many different kinds of people as everyone is really understanding that they need to get involved with video and being thoughtful about it and strategic about it and not just doing it off the cuff just to do it. Can be a lot more effective. And you can check out this conversation as well as those we've had with other experts in personal branding and corporate branding on our website at pointroadgroup.com/asktheexperts. Again, Robert, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.